also now joining us now by phone is Chief Congressional Correspondent Chad Pergram. He had been following this breaking news story and has all the details on what happened. We're so grateful, Chad, we have you by phone. Can you break this down for us?
Well, Tommy, this is what always happens when we have something like this. I always start to check in on the security situation at the White House, but this is what happened around 6 o'clock this evening. I'm told that a gunman came up near the White House on the west side, what is described to me as Gate 17. This is kind of near 14th Street on the west side of the White House, and came up and brandished some sort of a pistol. We don't know what type of pistol it was, but he then fired toward the White House 3 times. And the United States Secret Service, they returned fire. We don't know how many shots that they got off. And they apparently took the gunman down. Now, sometime in this gunfire exchange, a civilian on the street was struck by this gunfire, and we do not know the condition of that person right now. But the important thing to know is that the gunman who came up with the pistol and was taken down by the Secret Service, and we don't know his condition right now, but he never got inside the perimeter of the White House. And this is according to a senior administration official with direct knowledge of what went down at the White House this afternoon. This was right around 6 o'clock Eastern time.
So, Chad, so if I'm hearing what you said correctly, this was somebody who was just firing in the direction of the White House?
It was something that the Secret Service obviously perceived as a threat. Obviously, we're told that gunfire apparently was directed toward the White House. If you get toward the west side of the White House, and we're trying to figure out precisely where this was, you have the old executive office building now called the Eisenhower Executive Office Building, which is kind of a big complex if you're working from west to east toward the White House. So we know that he was firing in the direction of the White House, and this is the preliminary report from someone who's very senior and would have direct knowledge of this information. Again, a lot of people in town. There was one source that had, questioned me earlier, even before we had this information. There's a lot of motorcyclists in town for the Memorial Day events. They always come for this time, and people thought it might have been, motorcycles backfiring or something like that. There's quite a cacophony of that. But this is clearly someone who came up and was firing at the direction of the White House. And the president, of course, is at the White House today.
Welcome, one and all, to the Saturday night edition of the IndoctriNATION. I wanted to come with you tonight, to be with you, because so much is going on, and because President Trump returned to the White House. How interesting that we had this shooting at the White House that has gone down. I want to give you a couple different coverages of it, and get that dialed in with you here.
That President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart. That President Trump has said a deal is.
So this was this reporter was Selena Wang. She said, I was in the middle of taping on my iPhone for a social video from the White House North Lawn when we heard the shots. It sounded like dozens of gunshots. We were told to sprint to the press briefing room where we are holding now. Let me see if we can get any additional update on this. Actually, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this. By the way, for those of you who saw this guy with a mask, I listen. I think it's shadows, honestly. Just like the shadow of the interview with Joe Biden that I've said, listen, if we're looking for something and we're looking this hard, I think it discredits us. I don't really care if this guy's wearing a mask or not. We know that they exist. We know that they're doing them. But trying to sell somebody on the fact that this guy's wearing a mask, I just don't buy it. And I don't, shadows work very interesting ways. But if indeed he does, I just don't get too caught up in it. That's all I'm saying. Right. Let's see. I want to go to, let me see if this is taking us there. So at any rate, I know a couple of you were wondering what my take was on that, and I just don't really, care, to be honest with you. Like I've got better things to focus on. But let me get back to, I don't know why this is doing this. And I already did this. Why is this still? Okay, there we go. Okay. So I showed you that one. Let's check this one.
Also getting word that the second person that was
This
shot
is
in this,
10
in
minutes
addition
ago.
to that suspect who the Secret
Posted.
Service says has died as a result. This second person
Here's everybody.
is a bystander, somebody that somehow was caught in the back and forth. They haven't said yet exactly how. But again, as someone who's quite familiar with Washington, D.C., you know that, downtown D.C. is often very heavily trafficked, although it is rainy and it is a weekend. So maybe there were a few fewer people down there. But just the idea that when officers have to engage like this in that area, that there are often bystanders around.
Yeah, and I pass by the White House every day for many years on my way to work, and there is very few times rather, that I didn't see a tourist or bystander kind of taking a photo or a selfie by the White House. It draws people. When they come to DC, you have to visit the White House. It doesn't matter what time of day, what the weather is like. This is the reality of urban policing. And our friend from Boston can tell you this. When Secret Service agents or when federal agents, when I went through the academy, you were trained for this kind of close combat, people, innocent bystanders in the way. The marksmanship that these individual Secret Service officers and agents get is world class, and they're really trained for this. Unfortunately, when bullets are flying, innocent people can get shot. It hasn't been determined if it was the alleged perpetrator that shot this individual or from one of the agents. They'll come out through forensics, but this is a reality, unfortunately, when you're dealing with these type of situations.
So, all right. So we also have on the heels, I want to get into the situation with, this is 2 hours ago, around 6 p.m. is when this happened, fired 3 times towards the White House. Now, we heard definitely more than 3 times. Maybe that was the return fire of the Secret Service, right?
Also getting word.
Memorial Day since 2022. President Trump promises the prices will go down, but his grip on Republican support on Capitol Hill is weakening.
Hold on. I want to go back to this for a second.
Republican support on Capitol Hill promises the prices will go down. 2. President Trump promises the prices will go down, but his grip on Republican support on Capitol Hill is weakening.
His grip on the support on Capitol Hill is weakening. Meanwhile, his grip on the world
that was shot in
is
this,
so
in addition
strong.
to that suspect who the Secret Service.
I'm going to keep playing that, by the way. But meanwhile, he's so strong that people have to assassinate him. He's changing the world. And there are many, many that simply cannot allow that to happen. Now, how much are patriots in control? Certainly, President Trump is not in any danger. And we're not seeing any footage. I thought they might turn the camera. I would turn the camera in the direction of the shots fired and hide behind the camera. Or, go behind that tree right there. But this is obviously the reaction. Right? So there's nobody getting to.
Says has died as a result. The second person is a bystander.
Off here. Okay. So this is from Kevin Cork, update on the shooting near the White House. This is directly from the U.S. Secret Service. And so let's go to this source. Shortly after 6 p.m. Saturday, an individual in the area of 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue pulled a weapon from his bag and began firing. Secret Service police returned fire, striking the suspect, who was transported to an area hospital where he was pronounced deceased. During the shooting, one bystander was also struck by gunfire. No injuries were sustained by officers. The president was in the White House during the incident. However, no protectees or operations were impacted. This incident remains under investigation, and additional information will be released as soon as it becomes available. Anthony Guglielmi, Chief of Communications. So there you have it. What do you guys think? What do you think about all this? This is crazy. Let's see. Let me get to your most recent comms. Cat Mother B, hello. Quasi Pete, good to see you. Moonbeam, thank you both for being in the house. Welcome one and all. Yvette Shine Bright. Maggie, this is getting ridiculous. I still blame the Democratic politicians for inciting violence from the very beginning. Absolutely. Edward, good to see you. Dancing Banana. Yeah, up to 9 shots. So that was pretty awesome in terms of how quickly they responded, because it almost sounded like it was a continuous shooter, right? Let's see. Front row, lots of photos. Let's see, what did I miss? By the way, oh snap, it's Saturday Night Live. Warm Arizona greetings, friends and family. Hello, Sneds and Mod Squad. Howdy, Dave. Good to see you. Edward, thank you, brother. Ruby Sky, welcome in the house. Goody Two Shoes, C. Cutler, friend. Hi, Dave and friends. Love from Michigan. Motor Yoder, good to see you. What's happening? Catherine, you're welcome. Good to see you. Polar Bear Paws, as always. Hey, also, just a little update on Magnus. First of all, he's still alive, which that was really going to be in question today. So I just wanted to let you know that he's alive. They've taken him to a very serious hospital so that he could continue. When I was with him yesterday, and let me bring this up for you. Please keep the prayers coming, my friends. This is he is in a very, very tenuous situation. This is the amazing and absolutely loving Magnus. This was me visiting him yesterday in the at the vet where he had gotten his second operation, right? And let me go full page on this just to. And so he there's a lot going on here. Just please pray for this beautiful creature. When I showed up, his tail wagged. He got up immediately. He came and gave me kisses. So he had that wits about him, but then they had to give him a blood transfusion. He's got a lot going on internally in his stomach. It's just a lot going on. And so my sister and brother-in-law took him to a hospital about an hour and a half away, University Hospital, and where he's going to continue to get blood transfusions and get hopefully have enough that he can get through this and heal, basically, and heal. So, yeah, let's see. Yeah, this is crazy. Kev, good to see you, brother. Don Jr.'s wedding assassination attempt on like Ivanka Trump, who killed the supreme leader, had a shootout at the White House. What a day. We got a lot to talk about, my friends. Yeah, you're welcome, Hunter. Thank you. On the Bayou, downloaded the X app and now can comment. Fantastic. Yeah, so please, prayers up for Magnus, my friends. He is, they literally thought when I left yesterday, and I left, I was supposed to go to a class party, but at the last second, I got a call from a friend who said, "Hey, I got an extra ticket to the Spurs Oklahoma City game," and so instead of going to the party, I ended up going down to San Antonio and catching the second half. Towards the end of the first half, got to spend halftime with my friend in the incredible like owners section where people go in and get food and get free drinks and all that. And it was amazing. I was in the second row and of this game. I wish that the Spurs had beaten Oklahoma City, but it was a great game. But I was really thinking my sister and brother-in-law were coming after me. I kind of touched base with Magnus, and they're coming in. And based on what they were saying and what the people at the vets were saying was that they were going to have to make a difficult decision today. That wasn't the case. He did well last night after the transfusion, and now they're taking him to get more transfusions. So, at any rate, let me. So I went to this game, and my friend is just so happens to have amazing tickets, and so I was very fortunate to be at this game. And let me see if I can pull these up for you just to kind of give you an idea of how close I was. It was a real, I got to tell you, folks, I've been so busy between this show and with just my basketball coaching and trying to launch the Rubicon. I've been really, really busy with so much, and so I haven't really had a chance to catch many of these games. But this will give you an idea of how close I was. There's only one row in front of me, and of course, then the scorers table is what this is, and a lot of the owners sit down here. Let's see. So this was my view right here. This guy kept standing up in front of me here. The coach for Oklahoma City. And this is Wembanyama, 7 foot, 7'6", I think Wembanyama is. Okay. And this is my leg. I had some nice leg room too. That was me shooting the scorers table. And by the way, I'm not looking too good. I was at the vet, guys. I didn't have time to, but 1, 2, 3, 4 rows behind me, 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows behind me is the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern. So I had better seats in Stern. That was the guy. And I went and I introduced myself to him, and he was very cordial, very nice. But not looking my best there, folks. But at any rate, and then so anyway, I wanted to share that with you because that was a real treat for me. This is obviously the MVP. SGA, and so that was cool. And so thank you all for indulging me there. Excuse me. Yeah. Polar Bear Paws, the 91-92 Final Four. Awesome seats. Was that the timeout Final Four? Did we talk about this with Weber's timeout? Yeah. So thanks, guys, and I want to thank my buddy Bill Jackman. Bill called me up, and he's awesome, and I got to meet his lovely bride, Kim, and they've been together 11 years, and got to meet a new friend, and that I sat next to. So all was really cool. All looks really cool. Stern looks woke, you think? You look fine, thank you. Yeah, but I was like, I was unshowered, unshaven, and it was like I was just focusing on Magnus, and I got that thing. So, but it was cool to meet him, and he's done an amazing job with the NBA. I obviously have some issues with the NBA, right, because of what's been going down. I got to turn down that a little bit so I'm not such a reflection. But so at any rate, let's see, Kevin, as a Spurs fan, I enjoyed watching George Gervin. Loved watching old highlights of before I was born. Yeah, Kev, we've talked about Gervin, man. He was awesome. I loved watching him play. What a scorer. Yeah. Edward, thanks, Dave, for bringing us a live rare Saturday special Sned Shed to gather together on this most auspicious Memorial Weekend. The military is the only way. I love it, Edward. Thank you. Excuse me. Yeah. So thank you, Chef Jenny. I appreciate that. Mach 1 Babe says, I was 30 feet away from DJT at the rally yesterday. Dave and I were both rocking great real estate. Nice, Mach 1 Babe. And by the way, Sir Oliver was at that rally yesterday. Okay. He was at the rally. I actually texted him to see if he wanted to come on tonight. And and let me see. I have not heard back from him. But he sent me a couple pictures. Let me see if I can pull these up. And actually, it was just getting ready. It wasn't even of Trump. I think he emailed me something, but I couldn't find it. So we'll see if that pops up here a little bit later. But yeah, Sir Oliver was there, Mach 1 Babe. Glad you got to see that. How was that? Sporting the Marlboro Man, rugged, hardy look. Thank you, man. Polar Bear Paws in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Duke Coach K whipped Indiana Coach Knight's ass. Okay, that was not the one. I think I was in '94. The one I was at. That was back in New Orleans when Coach Pitino and Billy Donovan there. Yeah, I wish you would have known. You could have met him. That would have been really cool. I'm sorry that I did say it the other night on the show, actually, I think, right? Anyone hear about the explosion in Staten Island yesterday? I have not heard that. Let's blow up Oliver and summon him into the shed. That's a good idea. Go on X and blow him up. That's funny. Edward, that's good. Whenever I text him, he's always got his notifications off. I give him a hard time about that, but he's always got his notifications off. So, all right. So let's, yeah. So this White House shooting. Now, obviously, right. Let me give you this picture of it as well, just to let you know what's going on. But let me take you to this. and then we'll go. We'll get into. I want to get into Ivanka. Oh, wait a minute. That was one I already showed you. This is no, that's not the one either. Hold on. This is not the one. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me just take you to some of this footage here.
I couldn't but it was on the last one, at least more than 15.
Fiasco, I need you over here with me now.
Okay. Let's shift gears to Ivanka. Here we go.
A remarkable effort by our FBI, Director Patel leadership, and our international partners, and we were able to intercept and get in the middle of this man's attempts to wreak havoc and terrorize not only the United States, Canada, Europe, and so we were able to introduce an undercover, working with our law enforcement partners. So I think what our U.S. attorney just said is dead on. That President Trump's leadership around the world allows us to have the credibility and the partnerships to allow us to work with folks overseas, and that's what happened here. So he was brought here and appeared in court this, earlier today, and it is on the one hand should be very alarming. Yeah. To the people in this country that there are men around the world trying to exact this sort of terror. On the other hand, it shows the success of good law enforcement work and good police work and working hard to protect our borders, which is what we do every single day. And so this investigation is ongoing. It's just a complaint. I expect the next steps will be an indictment, and obviously we're still investigating and going to make sure that anybody that was involved with him will be brought to justice as well.
Was he picked up in Iraq, and when was he brought to the United States?
He was recently brought to the United States. I want to be careful talking about the operation, so I don't put anybody in danger. But it's enough to say that this was an effort that included not only the FBI but our law enforcement partners overseas as well.
Yeah.
So I want to see what. Let's see. So that's Fox News. I want to see like how CNN covers this. This is really okay. There's nothing on her. The last thing on CNN is basically inappropriate sexual comments about his daughter. Yeah, that's what is on CNN. So it's like CNN.
Trump was allegedly the target of an assassination plot by a suspected terrorist who was a member of the Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The trained Iraqi national who was taken into custody last week allegedly made a pledge to kill Ivanka and had a blueprint of her Florida home. This was in response to the killing of Iranian military chief Qasem Soleimani. A source telling the New York Post that the suspect said this, quote, "We need to kill Ivanka to burn down the house of Trump the way he burned down our house." According to the DOJ, the terror suspect has been behind attacks on multiple U.S. and Jewish targets. He was arrested and brought to the U.S. to face multiple terrorism-related charges. And one person is dead, and Trump was allegedly the target of an assassination plot by a suspected terrorist who was a member of the Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. So
Iran's Revolutionary Guard, Trump returned to this White House, to the White House, instead of Don Jr.'s wedding. A big deal, right? Being with all of his family. This was very serious. And then also 8 hours ago, Trump called the national security team and Vice President Nance, and then he was scheduled to hold a call at 1 p.m. with the leaders of several Arab nations, right? So this is all going down today, folks. This is all going down today. For those of you that have been disconnected, which, by the way, I recommend we disconnect from time to time, okay, so that we can manage our path, our journey through this shit show that we are currently embroiled in. And so I'm going to take you to President Trump's Truth Social post, and we're going to do a live dive on it, but I'm going to first read it to you, and also let me see. Let me just set this up here. And that's not giving me what I want. I gotta find. Okay, there we go. Okay, now, okay. This is really, really key. Okay, this is really key. And I'm going to get into this here in a moment. But let me first read this to you. I'm at the Oval Office. This was at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. I am in the Oval Office at the White House, where we just had a very good call with President Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud of Saudi Arabia. I'm not going to get into all the names. UAE, the Prime Minister of Al Thani and Minister of Qatar, Field Marshal of Pakistan, Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey, President of Egypt, King Abdullah II of Jordan, and King Hamad Al Khalifa of Bahrain, concerning the Islamic Republic of Iran. Okay, now, here's what I suggest. Here's what I'm thinking happened. Okay, what did I just do there? Oh, I just made that a little bigger. This is what I meant to do. Okay, here's what I think happened. He knew about the assassination attempt on Ivanka, and that, I think, is why he went to the White House. You come after my family, we're not playing games anymore. I'm not waiting for you. I'm not giving you more time. And we're, it's off the table in terms of negotiation. Also, Iran has not agreed to hand over the uranium, okay, which, by the way, is going to directly implicate Obama and Hillary, and also show the intent of Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. And here's what's going to be very interesting, my friends. Okay, if we're going to find out that the Iran came from the Uranium One deal that was negotiated by Obama and Hillary, why would they do that? Why would they help? The Iran to get a nuclear weapon when everybody agrees that they should not have nuclear weapons? Not everybody agrees, but you know what I mean. But that was the nuclear deal that was with Iran, that they would not be making deals. Now, we already have North Korea's uranium, is my speculation, because of Trump's relationship with Un. And so they already know that ties to Obama and Hillary through the Uranium One deal. Now that we're going to find out, And that's why President Trump has been talking about the nuclear dust that we're going to clean up. Why are we going to clean that up? Why would we care about the nuclear dust that was created in the ground in Iran? Because it has a marker that would tell us exactly where it came from. And that would take down Obama and Hillary. Now, so he goes back to DC, right? He rushes back to DC, and he gets on the phone, okay, with these leaders of the Middle East, concerning the Islamic Republic of Iran and all things related to a memorandum of understanding pertaining to peace. An agreement has been largely negotiated, subject to finalization between the United States of America, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and the various other countries as listed. Separately, I had a call with Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu of Israel, which likewise went very well. Final aspects and details of the deal are currently being discussed and will be announced shortly, in addition to many other elements of the agreement. The Strait of Hormuz will be open. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald John Trump. That was at 4:30, which is 43. We dropped the 0. Now let me take you to the dive here, okay? First of all, let's go to 114, which was the capital letter count. U.S. military equals savior of mankind. We will never forget fantasy land, God save us all. Okay. Military. The only way forward is military. But the savior of mankind. Now, for those of us in this world that aren't tapped into what's really happening with the world behind the veil, Hollywood, the music industry, the human trafficking trade, the organ harvesting trade, these horrendous things, folks. Many of us are in this fight for the children because of the absolute atrocities that have been committed against the least of us, the most innocent of us. Not the least, the greatest of us, but the least in terms of size, protection, ability to protect themselves. These innocent children are being trafficked, horrible things are being done to them in the name of the satanic elite. The satanic, that they call themselves elite, but in actuality, they're not elite at all. They're very, very much lesser human beings because they have lost their compassion because of the cremation of care ceremonies that they go through, both as receiving and as delivering horrendous atrocities to the human soul. So, for those of us that are aware of the CIA connection to, Hugh Hefner, Nexium, P. Diddy, the Mossad connection to Maxwell's and Epstein. These are very, very bad people, right? Love I love a Muslim family I know. I love the Jewish families I know. More than one Muslim family I know. Let me rephrase that. Several Muslim families that I know. I love Jewish families I know. I love Christian families I know. To me, it's not about what religion. It's about what these so-called leaders of these the satanic cabal that are using religion as their veil, if you will, as their curtain. They are the wizard behind the curtain with all these levers of industry, of media, of banking, of cross-border nonsense, flooding Europe, flooding the U.S. All these levers that these men are using, many of them hide behind the very religions that are we would like to have bring us together, but are actually being used to tear us apart. And so, but for those of us aware of all this, we understand that when Q says U.S. military is savior of mankind, we know for a fact that that's the case, because how else are we going to do it? How else are we going to conquer this absolute satanic group of people that don't care about you and I, don't care about our children, don't care about our grandchildren? Okay. Now let's go to the timestamp. This is a very important timestamp. Now we go 4:30. Oh, yeah. By the way, my friends, my apologies. I did not. I gotta forward a few things here. I've been very busy, and I did not post this. Like, I didn't post it in the group, the Indoctrination Snedheads fan page. I just posted it there on Facebook. And I need to drop the X link on Snedheads. Thank you, Edward, for the heads up on that. Let me take care of that now. And I also have to, pin this. And by the way, let me do this with you. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, so I'm sharing. This is my page at Dave Snedeker. I have this pinned. I'm going to go down to embed post, right? When I embed post, this pops up and goes like this. I'm going to copy and paste this in the white box, okay? Then I'm going to go to snedheads.com, all right? And I'm going to drop it in here. Barbara Linton, thank you for sharing your beautiful profile picture here. Folks, go check out this site, please. This is fantastic. Yeah, Matt Van Swall, Heather Willard posted, is shit about to go down this weekend, Dan? Something is up. I wouldn't miss my kid's wedding for almost anything in the world. This has got to be huge. That's absolutely true. And that's what we all thought, right? That's what we all thought. And then, of course, Diana said the Indoctrination No Show tonight was on last night. Yes, and thank you for sharing about what's going on with Magnus. I like that graphic. That's really cool. So much appreciate. I'm telling you, folks, without question, we need a miracle when it comes to Magnus, and you all are helping to create that miracle. All right. And by the way, you see my neck here, right? You see that shadow, right? I'm not wearing a mask, folks. Okay. Do you see why I don't give any credibility to any shit? Now, I am a little angled back with my head forward because I'm just at an odd angle. But look at the shadow. I've got heavy lighting up here. Am I wearing a mask just because you're seeing that going on? You know, yeah. And I got to work on that turkey neck there too. Getting a little much there, folks, a little much. So welcome everyone who's joining us on this Saturday evening. I got my red light. This is my red light, by the way, my red light therapy. Let me get that out of the screen. And I've got at my feet, I've got my PEMF. So for those of you who are tapping into that, I'm going to address that probably this week. I'm going to thank all those who got involved with PEMF, PEMF.com. IndoctriNATION.com. Please go check that out, my friends. This is a great opportunity to help your body heal naturally. I'm also, talking to Sir Oliver about it because he doesn't want to go under the knife with the back surgery. So I hope that he gets one, and I hope it helps him like PEMF has helped me with my back and my body. And it also has terahertz in it, which is, it takes it to a whole nother level, my friends. I'm just telling you, it's just really remarkable stuff. And I still use my Healy. I've got my Healy right here. Okay. I still use the Healy, which is fantastic as well. But and the Healy is one device, and you get 3 devices for the same price of the Healy with the PEMF in terahertz. This does not have the same PEMF and terahertz. So, do yourselves a favor, please check that out. Talk to Nancy or Wayne about that, and you're going to be glad you did. And this is not the med beds, but the Sned beds. Okay, and the Sned beds are here, and you're going to love them. And I shouldn't call them Sned beds because I had nothing to do with the technology, but it's just a fun thing to say. And so let me take you back to, and I didn't drop the link in Truth Social, and I got to do that. Okay, here we go. Let me do this, drop this in Truth. I really don't know how many people I get from Truth. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's, I don't do much on Truth Social, I got to tell you, because I've got so much going on. And so, but I always post a show on Truth Social. So those that are watching on Truth can get on over to Rumble and watch it there. Okay, so let me get back to the dive that we started. And sorry for the little tangent there, but as you know, I'm a big fan of the tangents. 43, my friends. This was the timestamp of that particular drop, or that particular post by President Trump on Truth. These crumbs are not meant to scare anyone, but merely inform. Resistance will be dealt with swiftly. The core focus is removing entrenched and fortified bad actors within our federal government, past and present, as well as others. Simply be diligent. Phone numbers will be provided if you witness an uprising or other domestic violence in addition to 911. Any military scene is for your protection as well as to demonstrate our resolve. Watch for confirmations tomorrow. This is on the heels of U.S. military savior of mankind. God save us all. Then think mirror, Q clearance patriot. We've been getting this a lot lately. Okay. My fellow Americans, over the course of the next several days, you will undoubtedly realize that we are taking back our great country, the land of the free, from the evil tyrants that wish to do us harm and destroy the last remaining refuge of shining light. Okay. On POTUS's order, we have initiated certain fail-safes that shall safeguard the public from the primary fallout, which is slated to occur 11/3 upon the arrest announcement of Mr. Podesta, actionable 11/4. Okay, now what's significant about this? Well, President Trump's post right here has, why is that not working? There we go. Okay, this post with all these names, Minister Ali Al-Tawadi of Qatar, Field Marshal Syed, all these like really odd capitalized, other countries, Prime Minister, Strait of Hormuz, yes, maybe President Donald J. Trump instead of them all capitalized, just the Donald J. Trump. Peace, all capitalized. Memorandum of Understanding, it's not a capitalized thing, right? So all of these things, sorry, I meant to bring you here with me. I'm sorry, okay? All of these lead us to a drop count of 114 capital letters. U.S. military, then we get U.S. military again, then we get U.S. military again on Q Clearance Patriot and the EBS, okay, or EMS, right? And 11.4, actionable. How many capital letters? 114, 11.4. All right. He missed his son's wedding, my friends. God, I got to take you with me. I'm so sorry. Okay. This is 11.4. Okay. This is 11.4, the capital letter account. Okay. He missed his son's wedding to get back to DC. What message do you think that send to Iran, by the way? Pretty strong message, right? Okay. Confirmation to the public of what is occurring will then be revealed and will not be openly accepted. Public riots are being organized in serious numbers in an effort to prevent the arrest and capture of more senior public officials. On POTUS's order, a state of temporary military control will be actioned and special ops carried out. False leaks have been made to retain several within the confines of the United States to prevent extradition and special operator necessity. Rest assured, the safety and well-being of every man, woman, and child of this country is being exhausted in full. However, the atmosphere within the country will unfortunately be divided, as so many have fallen for the corrupt and evil narrative that has long been broadcast. That would be, you know, the assassination attempt on Ivanka, obviously from Iran, but engaging with people that have been brainwashed. The shooting at the White House, right? We will be initiating the emergency broadcast system during this time in an effort to provide a direct message, avoiding the fake news to all citizens, organizations, and or people that wish to do us harm during this time will be met with swift fury. Okay, swift fury. Back here, what does 43 say? Okay. Resistance will be dealt with swiftly. Okay. And here we have swift fury. Okay. And what is the name of the, hold on one second, please. I got to take care of something real quick. Okay, sorry. All right. So we've got this swift fury. Now, what's the war in Iran called? But epic fury, right? Certain laws have been pre-lifted to provide our great military the necessary authority to handle and conduct these operations at home and abroad. My friends, President Trump, he had to explain to everybody why he went back to DC, right? So what's he do? He, puts out a post about how he spoke with all of these people, right? And this is huge, right? And that was the message he sent to us, is that, you know, he had this call with all these incredible world leaders, big deal, like at a moment's notice. And they were all there, by the way, okay? When President Trump calls you, you show up, right? That's exactly what went down. That's exactly what went down, right? Folks, if you like this insight and if you like the work that I do, I'm going to ask you here to support that work that I do and help me keep the lights on, get into my new studio. I'll be hopefully moving within a month again, but it's just across the way. So I don't have to go far, but I still have to pick up and get everything over there. Yeah, so please, if you have the means, if you have the ability, please support the work that I do. And if you do not, you're the reason why this is free, along with every show that I've ever done for 8 years, 1,700 shows. Yeah. So, so don't think that I want your money if you can't afford it, because you know I do not. Kevin just sent me another President Trump post. Holy cow. Okay. He just sent this a minute ago. So this is the most recent. Okay. This is big, by the way, folks. This is like really, like, this is, we got to talk about this. Okay. The Democrats just released an autopsy of their 2024 presidential campaign. Typos and all. But they refused to discuss two very important words: bad policy. The candidates, Sleepy Joe and then Kamala, weren't so hot either. President DJT. Now, here we got. Okay, let me make sure you're with me here. I think you are. Yes. Okay. So here we have, okay, some very interesting capital letters happening, right? Also, it's at 9:59 p.m. Okay. So let's first go to the capital letter counter, and let me put this in. And we have 25 uppercase letters, 25. Okay. So that's going to take us to 25 and 52, right? Let me just show you why I'm typing this in here, and 52. Now, we're also going to go to the 9:59, right? And because that was the timestamp that he did it. He literally just did it 2 minutes ago, okay? So 9:59. So let's go there. And let's see if President Trump is telling us anything else. Now, let's first go to the capital letter counter of 2025, okay? Follow up to last post. Okay, this is very interesting. Last post. Let me take you back to that. Let me take you to the last post, which would have been 24, right? 24, because we're always, okay, so 24. Any person making statements they will not be seeking re-election was put in submission. My friends, I want to remind you that this was November 1st, 2017. Okay? But they knew that we were going to be reading it today. For the betterment of the country, not all will be prosecuted, and all will do as told. They might not be prosecuted, but they're doing as they're told in order to awaken the masses and take out the very worst of them all. You will see more of this occur, not normal yet disregarded, and even on the Democrat side. So that's why, here's the thing. When you read the Q drops as much as I have, you embody them. There are so many things that I hear myself saying that would not be saying it were it not for Q and my knowledge of Q. I'm so grateful to the Q team. By the way, Jill 2020, thank you for the Rumble rant, $10. Love your stuff. So appreciate you. Thank you very, very much for that. I want to remind you, if you do a Rumble rant and you're in the Rumble app, Rumble will take 20%. Apple or whatever, wherever you got the app, the Play Store or Apple Store, will take 30%. So now I get $5. Just wanted to remind you all. Okay. That's why I don't do a lot of Rumble rants, even though everyone does them and they're really popular and the whole bit. And it's not that I don't want to support Rumble. It's that they only take 20%, but Apple takes another 30. Apple's got enough money, my friends. I bought my laptop from Apple. Okay. You bought my laptop from Apple. But anyway, just wanted to let you know that. Okay. Now back to the drops. Okay. So even on the Democrat side, Q is telling us back in 2017 that they are all doing as they're told. This is why I'm saying that the white hats have given them a new script and they are reading it masterfully. Now, follow up to last post, 25. Okay. Return to comments regarding Pelosi and John McCain. Some of us refused to say his last name for a reason. This was because he was so dialed in with ISIS, with this whole cabal and this operation to take out Donald Trump. This all has meaning. Everything's stated. Big picture stuff. Few positions allow for this direct knowledge. Proof to begin, 11:3. We all sincerely appreciate the work you do. Keep up the good fight. The flow of information is vital. God bless. My friends, we were just on 11:4, 11:3, because we were just on these drops. Let me take it one more time. Where right here, Q Clarence Patriot, 11:3, 11:4. This is President Trump's back-to-back posts that take us to 11:3, 11:4, including the capital letter count of that last post, which was 11:4. Shit's going down, my friends, and President Donald John Trump is giving the Anons a heads up as to what exactly is going on. Let me take you back to the drops. We're going to flip 25. We're going to think mirror. Review Barack Obama's financial disclosure when he submitted pre-Dem election campaign. What is the annual salary of a sitting U.S. president? What homes were just purchased by Barack Obama? How much did it cost? How does it reconcile? Pelosi, John McCain, again, John M. Institute. He was taking money from Saudi Arabia. He was taking money just like the Clinton Foundation was. Where do you get a surgery? That was at the Mayo Clinic. Why is that relevant? Because they're part of the cabal that, God forbid, how many people did they kill during COVID? How many days until he was back in Congress and sitting on the oversight committee? He should never have been back to push forward the Obama care. He did. He never should have been able to do that because of his brain surgery. So did he really have brain surgery? And by the way, what's his net worth? How does it reconcile? What is Maxine Waters' net worth? How does it reconcile? You can play this game with mostly Dems and many Republicans. What does swamp refer to? What does money buy? Alice in Wonderland. Money buys influence. Okay. Alice in Wonderland takes us to Hillary, takes us to Saudi Arabia, right? Takes us because all this Clinton Foundation, John McCain Institute, were all getting money, and Barack Obama were all getting money from Saudi Arabia. Now, these were the people before the purge. This was Prince Al-Walid, who controlled Twitter. Okay. Now, what's significant about this particular post, okay, is that I'm going to take you to the deltas for today. Okay. And the deltas, hold on, Jasper's one of today's deltas, okay, was the Obama speech that was given at the Bilderberg Group conference in Brussels. Okay. His comments are chilling. Okay. And Q shares that link. The lead in was cover, exit out was missing what? Okay. So the lead in was cover. Now, this is the speech where he says the following here.
Across an ocean. And they wrote them into the founding documents that still guide America today, including the simple truth that all men and women are created equal. But those ideals have also been tested here in Europe and around the world. Those ideals have often been threatened by an older, more traditional view of power. This alternative vision argues that ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs, that order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign. Often, this alternative vision roots itself in the notion that by virtue of race or faith or ethnicity, some are inherently superior to others. And that individual identity must be defined by us versus them. Or that national greatness must flow not by what people stand for, but what they are against.
I have been on a very...
So I'm not going to play too much of that because, well, for many reasons. One, because you and I can't stand to hear this man speak. He's so pompous, so arrogant, and so condescending. Okay. Lead in was cover, exit out was missing what? Now, this has to do with how he is basically telling the Bilderberg Group that this is what America is, but we can be conquered. And he was a part of conquering them. Okay. His comments were chilling. All right. What else do we have on this Delta? FISA-gate. All right. Obama, Hillary, Andrew McCabe, James Comey, Loretta Lynch. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to get Oliver on for a little bit. Especially 2x. I'm going to get him. Let me get him the link here and finish this dive. He has a dive that I'm hoping he'll share with us. Let me share this to him with him on X. And yeah, so that'll be a nice treat having Sir Oliver join us tonight. Let me why is that doing that? Here we go. Got it. All right. just sent his StreamYard link to him, and also I will tag him in the show itself. And here we go. There we go. Okay. Okay. Just dive. All right. We're not going to talk about the rally. Supposedly he wasn't supposed to be there, so don't say anything about the rally. Okay. Just we're going to talk about his dive. I don't know if it's going to be as good as the one we just did, because he was working on this earlier, but I can't wait to share that with him as well. Let me finish this dive, which is going to also take us to, so again, what I was just showing you, right, was the, let me get us back to that, okay? What I was just sharing with you were the deltas, right, of May 23rd, and FISAgate is there, okay? And all these comments. What I saw is absolutely shocking. Mark Meadows, it's so alarming. The American people have to see this. Jim Jordan, there's been a real attempt to undermine this president, and it comes from the scariest of places. Matt Gaetz, it comes from the scariest places because it came from the Oval Office. This sickening reality has set in. I no longer hold out hope there is an innocent explanation for the information the public has seen. That was Steve King. Scott Perry said, as soon as you read the memo, you think, is this happening in America, or is this the KGB? And then, of course, we got FISAgate, Trump 2020, and sanctions are coming. The tarmac meeting with Bill and Loretta. And then why did POTUS circumvent DNI codes, normal protocol for D-class, and give authorization directly to AG Barr? Now, what's significant about this is the fact that Tulsi Gabbard resigned. Tulsi Gabbard resigned because her, thank you for those who have donated. I will go to your donations later in the show and read your name and thank you personally for those who are doing this. Also, if you would, please be aware that if you want to use a credit card or Cash App or one of those, that I'm going to drop a link in the chat. Okay. And I'm going to do that now, both on YouTube and on Rumble and on X. Excuse me. And let me get to that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to really looking forward to having Oliver on. Can't post comments to some destinations. That doesn't make, okay, I'll figure that out later. All right, my friends. So let's get into the following. Let's finish that dive. Let me get back to this real quick and share that dive. Here we go. Okay. And I'll keep an eye out for Oliver coming into the shed. So, so DNI, D-class, this is all happening. FISAgate, the D-class, this is all coming out, folks, okay? This is FISA, the start, okay? What did President Trump take us to? 11.3, 11.4, start. FISA equals start, okay? FISA, immediate confirmation of illegal acts regarding signers. Signers? You mean like the judges that signed it that were overseen by Justice Roberts? Do you mean the signers as in Comey and McCabe who signed off on this? Brennan, okay, that signed off on this whole thing. Immediate confirmation start of Hussein's spy campaign to rig an election was based on false info. FISA implicates HRC Democrat Party as feeders of false information with the intent of securing the mainstream media and blast insurance. Let me bring into the shed. Sir P. Diddy lot is coming in to the shed. Can you hear me, my friend? Please don't joke about not being able to hear me, because we have had so many problems not being able to hear me. That
I know it's
right.
crazy.
We can't joke about such things. Too serious. Too serious.
So I figure I use, P. Diddy's avatar this way they leave us alone,
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Be careful. Listen, be careful with that baby oil. That can really screw up your electronics, dude.
It's too late, man.
Oh, okay.
It's my third iPad. Oh man.
What I say to you that one time when you're like, I'm having problems with my iPad. I'm like, yeah, I don't have an iPad. I'm not 13.
Yeah. Oh man.
Hey,
what's up?
Hey man, let me bring you up to speed real quick on where we've been. It's very interesting evening, obviously, and I want to hear your take on it all. First off, thanks for joining us. I know that the all the folks in the chat are excited to have you here. So here's where we went tonight. So Trump posted about his call, obviously, bypassing his son's wedding, right, to get back to DC, calling all the national security team, calling JD Vance. He had the meeting. We did a dive on the post he did about the call with all the Middle East leaders, right? And by the way, interesting that he has a call with all the Middle East leaders, right, that are part of the Board of Peace. And then he has a separate call with Bibi, right? Like Bibi can't be in on that call.
No.
Right? Very interesting, right? And so we did a dive on that, and that took us to, I'll just do a quick recap, and I really want to get into your dive. But this is, I was just showing everybody the deltas, which are pulling up FISA, the start, right? The start, FISA, down all the way down here to where Obama was speaking to the Bilderbergs on that YouTube video. And he, was basically kind of a wink, wink, know what I mean to the Bilderbergers about, the United States and how we're too simple-minded to rule ourselves. Now,
I was just gonna say it. The movie, all the same movies playing at once. They're all up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So,
what's the one on the end? What does the one on the end say?
Sanctions are coming.
Okay.
Sanctions are coming. Here, I can make it a little bit bigger. Let me do that.
Yeah. So,
right?
I mean, we're here, right? Sanctions are here. We're in that phase.
Right. So, so the Q drops, this is very interesting because POTUS has just done 2 tonight, right? That are significant, in my opinion. And one was just a couple minutes ago. So we were at this. We started with the 4:30 post this afternoon, took us to 43.
Yeah,
And
I've been decoding that for several hours now.
Awesome. I want to get into your deeper dive, but I wanted to bring you up to speed where we're at. 34, 11.3, actionable, start, 11.3, 11.4, right? And
Where'd
then
you get that?
Mirror on 430 was the post.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. And This was the capital letter count, 114.
Yep.
U.S. military, savior mankind, and also 11-4.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then we went to his next post, which was 25. Okay, capital letters.
Right.
And it says follow up to last post. Again, proof to begin 11-3. Right. And of course, we have the deltas today. So I went back to 24. False statements put into submission. Right. And even on the Democrat side. Right. And then Think Mirror, we went to 52, review Barack Obama's financial disclosures, et cetera, which also match with the, a lot of Barack Obama on the deltas, right? And also,
did you see? Sorry to cut you off. Did you see
No, that's
that
all right.
Did you see that he hooked up with Fidel Castro's brother?
Who? Obama?
Obama.
When did he do that?
I saw a picture of him with him. There's no date on it. Give me one second. Let me see if I can find it again. Yeah, Democrats were bragging about it. Obama, Trump wanting to indict the guy and Obama hanging out with him. Let me see if
we're talking Raul, right?
The guy that didn't he just indict him?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So what do you say? Because I gotta hit the head. What do you say? You just say hi to the chat and you talk about everything that's going on. I'll still be able to hear you. And then I'll come back in just a minute. Does that sound good?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
cool. Just give the 411 on your take of what the hell's going on right now, because this is unbelievable.
Well, first off, I want to say one thing.
Yes.
Dan Scavino did something that I never seen him do before. He made a post that only was he only chose a certain audience. He only gave them access to a small audience to respond. So in other words, I've never seen this before. Oh, I didn't see that.
This was his. This was his.
That
was May
this was the
22nd.
other day. He posted something. Was it this account? I think it was this account. Right. Was it that one? Do not mistake my. No, it wasn't that one. It was the one after that. It was one after. Do not mistake my sincere kindness. It was one after that, but it may have been the other account. I think it's his official government account. I don't think it was that one.
Okay.
Let's see if it happens to you. I couldn't respond. I've never seen him do that. And so I did some digging, and I noticed that he put the location or showed the location on top. That was the rally. Okay, that one right there.
Okay.
That one right there. Click on that. Can you respond to that?
Costly new equipment, and that just doesn't make any sense. Refrigeration trucks were being handed impossible restrictions to meet. Once again, here we are in the Oval Office. President Trump is righting another wrong. The Trump EPA, we are proudly implementing President Trump's agenda every single day, delivering for the American people.
Is that Zeldin?
Can you respond to that?
Let me see. You cannot reply.
Interesting, you, Dave.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can't hear you.
I can hear you. But
I can't hear you.
Yeah. You got to go out and come back in. I got to kick you.
But in any case, that's what I was seeing.
You're out of here.
Kick me out. Get me out.
Yeah. I can't keep this. Here we go. Kick. All right. Here we go. So interesting. So we cannot reply to Dan's post here. I did not know that. Only people in the specified location can reply. If you're in the area and cannot reply, please ensure that location sharing is enabled. That's interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. All right. Let's see if he gets back in here. You cannot reply because GPS location for safety, Kevin says. And Polar Bear Plus says we're both 5'5". It's just that for some reason he can't hear me at certain moments. So, yeah. It's funny. Is that the plane that is invisible? Mizzo says. And and then follows up, that plane can make things disappear, turns things into dust. That's for damn sure. Yeah. And it's very, by the way, it's very obviously stealth. They can't pick that up on most radars, any radar, I don't think. But let me see. I'm going to play something for you. And I'm going to use the boys' room, okay? But I want to get into this gentleman, by the way, and Oliver will come back in when he comes back in. But let me play this for you. This is here we go. I'm digging this guy's stuff. Okay, I'm really digging his stuff. It's just very well thought out. So please give this guy a follow. And I'm not knowing his name, so please let me know what his name is. Here we go.
You see, funny things begin to happen when radical Islamic regimes like the one in Iran that are being led by murderous dictators begin to be removed and toppled because you have a president that has gigantic cojones and is willing to do the work to replace the globalist system, the deep state system that runs directly through Iran with the American system. What happens is that some of the people in this country that have been carrying the water and pushing the propaganda for the Iranian regime.
Hey, my man, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you now. I think that's Patriot Dad, I think is his name. I think something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. So I wanted to play him, but I didn't want to play him if I can play him after you're off. But I wanted to tell you that I could not reply to Dan, okay? And it has to do with a location setting.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
Exactly. Because he said it.
He said it. Speak to that, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah, sure. So if you guys can see the post, there was only 25 responses. Right? If you look at all the views, right, the likes, the reposts, only 25 responses. So for some reason, he wanted to limit it to the DC location. Now, Trump was in New York for Mike Lawler. Mike Lawler had an event in Rockland County, and Trump was scheduled to appear, and he did appear. And then he was scheduled to go to New Jersey, to Bedminster, New Jersey. I'm sure you guys saw that post where he canceled that trip and went straight to DC. Now you have to ask yourself, and Dave talked about his, him missing his son's wedding and all. But you have to ask yourself, since when does POTUS announce where he's going? Almost never. Just a couple of times he's done that. And it's to alert his enemies, right? To make them make uncalculated moves. And that came up the other day through one of Dan's posts. So this whole Oval Office, Washington, D.C. thing, in my opinion, it was to tell them where he was going to be so that they can make another attempt, right? From what I understand, there was a shooting at the White House. I don't know what the outcome was of that. I just heard about it. But, one has to wonder if maybe this is why he did that. just to give them a little heads up. Hey, I'm going to be over here. So I've been a little bit out of the loop these past couple of days, but I noticed that post that POTUS posted earlier today, and I got right on that because to me, he was saying a lot. When you meet with all of these countries in the Middle East, and then as Dave pointed out, you make that separate call to Bibi, that's saying something, right? So what did I get out of that? I started to do a decode, and I said, you know what? I'm going to write an article because I think I can explain it better in an article. And that's what I did. So instead of going into the breakdown of all the different drops and everything, I just stuck with the drop 430 and the drop 114 because
I'm
those
back
made
with
the
you, by the way. I'm
yeah,
back with you.
they made the most sense to me. I was talking about that post that he made at 430, which you were getting into as well.
Yep.
You know, there's a reason why we already know that he uses capital letters when he doesn't have to.
Right.
When you write a post as significant as this one, where you're mentioning all the heads of all these different Middle Eastern countries, and then as you mentioned, you know, he spoke to Bibi as well, right? And the main topic was peace in the Middle East,
Yeah.
right? So if you're speaking to all of these leaders from the Middle East, including Bibi, and you know, we're focusing on Iran, right? Trying to open the Strait of Hormuz peacefully, then that means the end of wars,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
It's not going to be a band-aid on a gaping wound. This is a permanent thing. You know, it's not Obama where you cut a deal for a few years and then after he's gone, you know, anybody can do whatever they want. Trump's trying to end wars, period, forever. He wants everyone to live peacefully, harmoniously. You know, he wants everyone to prosper, but he's got to get rid of these black hands, right?
Except Rosie O'Donnell.
Except Rosie O'Donnell. Oh, that was a good one.
Thank you.
Fuck her. She's fucking miserable. I hope
Oh.
she dies under a fucking log.
Yeah, dives under a log, not
Yeah.
dives, because we don't wish death upon anybody except.
Yeah, I said dive. I said
Yeah,
dive.
yeah. I'm just, you know, yeah. Hey, and by the way, just I wanted to back up, and then I want to go to your article if we can, and let you finish your flow. But I just realized that when you said Dan only had 25 replies on that post, POTUS took us to post 25 today.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wonder if they knew exactly where they were going to cut that off.
And that's the follow up to the last post. So if you look at that and then you take into account his last post, I know you went to 24, but if you take, you understand? If you take into account his last post, follow up to his last post, what was that? I started to look at it, but I didn't finish looking at it. What was his?
It was his last post was was this one. The 430 post.
No. I'm talking about his last post was the autopsy. Did you see that? Did you read that?
Oh, well, so the autopsy, yes, absolutely. By the way, what a joke. The autopsy. Are you kidding me? It's like it would be like if we didn't had an autopsy done on a body, but they didn't mention the murder weapon, right? They didn't mention how the person died or who killed him. You know, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But so this was the post that took us to
the 25.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's got to be embarrassing to be a Democrat at this point.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it really does. It really does. So yeah, let's talk about that, because the timestamp is 9:59.
Yeah.
Correct. That you're showing 8:59, but it's really 9:59 because it's East Coast.
Right. So here's
that
9:59 here.
well, that's a mirror, is what I'm saying. The timestamp is a mirror within itself. So you go to 52, which is what you did. You brought up the 52 there, and that's very relevant to what's going on right now.
Yep.
You know,
As is the today's Delta too.
And it ends with Alice in Wonderland.
Yes. Yep. And by the way, today's Delta ends the last Delta today mentions DNI Coates. And here we just, Tulsi just resigned.
Yeah, I'd like to see Devin Nunes.
Devin, come on, man. Come on. Yeah. He's got to bring Devin in, man. Are you kidding me?
It'd be game over.
Listen,
it'd be game over.
There's no way that Devin resigns. What was it? A week and a half ago? 2 weeks ago, maybe from
Truth.
Trump, right? From Truth.
Yeah.
And says he's going to be working with President Trump, and then Tulsi drops out. Holy cow!
And he's always been working with Trump in the administration.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
I started to think, there's ways that they can harm us without us knowing. And I started to think that maybe they did that to Tulsi's husband. I hope he's okay, and I hope he comes out of this, whatever it is. But for it to be a rare bone cancer just out of nowhere, it doesn't seem right. With all the D-class that she put out there, I could totally see them doing this. Are you there? I can't hear you.
Sorry. Yes.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right.
Sorry.
You know what I mean? Like I could see them I'm taking it for what it is. I'm believing what she's saying. I believe that her husband is suffering from a rare, bone cancer. But I'm not, discounting the fact that the CIA has ways of harming people. Just think of Havana syndrome.
Sure.
And that came up. She declassified that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She declassified a ton of investigations. She just put them out there.
Yeah. That was what you're talking about is the Cuba embassy, where they were hitting them with weapons, with frequency weapons.
Yeah. Well, they wanted to do that with the White House, with the Oval Office. That's why they restructured the whole thing. That's why they, Trump had it all renovated, and they tried to do it in Trump Tower as well. And they've done it to people in other instances. Yeah, that's nice. Devin Nunes will set the stage for. I agree. Yeah, I agree, Kevin. Yeah, listen, I'm fading fast. So if you want, we could get into my article real quick. Are you there? I can't hear you, Dave. I don't know if you're talking, but I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I'm here. Yeah. I'm looking for your article right now. Let me pull you up.
And let me just, for the record, I have no evidence of any of this occurring. This is what I believe is happening. Okay. And what has happened behind the scenes. And when you think about the timing of all of this and the drops that they align with, I just started going. My mind just started going. And my iPad is not charging, and I got 3%. Why is this not charging? Give me 1 second.
Maybe your daughter's got an extra charger.
I got it now. I got it. And you said you didn't receive those pictures I sent you, huh?
No, you said look at your email.
Your
Did you
email,
send it
yeah.
to the Dave Sned at Gmail, or where'd you send it?
Yeah, the Gmail.
Yeah, never got it.
Damn it, man. I sent you a bunch of pictures and a video.
Yeah.
He flew. He was in Marine One, and he flew by so we can all see him. And then he came. He came around and did it again. You know. Yeah, it was nice. All right, so you got it. It's right there. My pin post.
Okay. Here it is.
Mm-hmm.
The Peace Trap.
You want to read it?
What if the end of endless war was the end of their control?
And then there's that post.
Yeah.
Which you already read, right?
Yeah. Once you read it, I'd rather it be in your.
Okay, so let's scroll back down to the post real quick, because we have to put things in perspective. Donald Trump's post.
Oh,
right, we already discussed that he had a call with all of these leaders of the Middle East.
Yep.
Right. And we discussed that he had a separate call with Bibi. And it's all about peace. Right. He wants this agreement so they can open the Strait of Hormuz. And he said, in fact, it will be opened.
Yeah.
So for me, I went back to what type of leverage does he have? Right? Where he can get all these people together from the Middle East, right? All these Muslim countries, primarily. He can get all these leaders to.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like what pull? I mean, at a moment's notice.
That's right.
He gets them all on the phone.
That's right. You know, and for me, it's leverage. It's the leverage that he has over all of them, and his business savviness. You know, he wants everyone to prosper, but he wants everyone to come to the table with something. You know, we don't want to. Oh, so someone was there, so they know. Yeah, yep, 100%.
Mach 1 Babe was disappointed to know that you were there because
I didn't advertise. I didn't advertise. I was incognito, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So you got to look at the big picture, right? If we're moving into this new financial system, you have to remove the corruption. You have to remove the all the laundering, right? And if you go even deeper, you have to remove all of the black ops, all these black hands, if you will, pulling strings here and pulling strings there. And that's probably what's been happening behind the scenes all this time. And we're getting down to the nitty gritty, which is why we can put people like John Brennan's face all over the media now saying, hey, buddy, you're next, pretty much, because he's the one that made all this possible through him, through, Obama giving orders, Brennan carrying them through. So you think about the trip he made to North Korea. Was he the first to cross over? He was, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Right. Shaking hands with Kim Jong-un. You have to imagine at that point that he already had some type of control of that situation, right? Through leverage.
Yeah. So Q told us, right, that North Korea was under control of the CIA, right? We've seen the rocky waters with the picture of Bill Clinton with Kim Jong-il and some CIA players. And then we see the calm waters with just Kim Jong-un and his team, and the Q drops. So, and then also Q was the only one that ever said that we were responsible for the collapse of the mountain, that, that collapsed their nuclear,
The nukes.
yeah, their nuclear facility, right? And so based on the fact that we, were Anons, and we know that Q told us that he liberated North Korea from the CIA, right? And that was huge. So what I said earlier tonight was that he's still see what Iran's trying to keep from Trump, and this is, I think, the main reason why they have not succumbed, is because it will show that, once we get that dust that Trump kept posting about, right, that can be matched to the uranium-1, right? The isotopes can be matched to the uranium-1 sale that Hillary and Obama did to Iran through Canada and Russia, that it's going to go right back to the fact that they were attempting to cause World War III by giving both North Korea, which I think Trump already has the evidence there, and now we need the evidence from Iran, which he does not have yet, but is about to get. I believe that's my take on the whole thing. What do you think?
I think he's got it all. He's had it all for a long time, but he did not disclose that to everyone. And that's what I mean by leverage.
Okay.
When you have leverage on someone, you don't have to tell their brother and sister. You can dangle that over their head. You can threaten to tell their brother and sister, which will give you continuous control over them, especially if it's something like that post that you mentioned with choppy waters in the background. What were they sitting on?
Oh, that was the flower. We've covered that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what were they trying to insinuate there with Clinton and Kim Jong-il?
Right.
They were doing that. You understand? And Trump knows this. Trump, when he say he caught them all, means he's got all the information on everybody.
Yeah.
So when you see that photo with these guys on top of those flowers,
what were the flowers? I did a dive on this, and we did it like years ago.
Virgins, young virgins.
Okay.
They were deflowering. They were getting virgins. And they were deflowering them.
Okay, that was not in my dive. We did the actual flower itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, they would. Well, Clinton was known for requesting very young and innocent and pure. Not just him. These elitists. That's what they do. They request the purest. And it gets even sicker than that. But I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you talk about the CIA control over North Korea. That was 4:30. That was dropped 4:30, right? And we'll get to it. Let's read my article.
Okay. Let's get back to that. Okay, here we go. Go ahead.
At first glance, most people saw this as another geopolitical update, another presidential statement, another diplomatic announcement. But read it again carefully, not emotionally, but structurally. Why were all of these nations on the same call? Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, Bahrain, and separately, Israel, all centered around one issue, Iran. Then look at the wording, not ceasefire, not temporary de-escalation, not sanctions relief, peace, capitalized, intentionally. And then this line, the Strait of Hormuz will be opened. That is not symbolic language. That is one of the most strategically important choke points on Earth. For decades, the Strait of Hormuz represented leverage through fear. Oil disruption, naval escalation, economic panic, potential world war. Now imagine if the pressure point itself was being neutralized, not through invasion, but through agreement, right?
Yeah.
Through diplomacy backed by overwhelming leverage. He's got leverage over all of them.
Dude, amazing leverage, like
Yeah.
unprecedented leverage,
Yeah.
capitulation.
Yeah. And now, years later, Trump publicly discussing a multinational peace agreement centered around Iran itself. That creates a very strong narrative flow because the Trump post becomes the real world anchor, connecting the rest of the story together. Are moments in history that feel scripted, right? I left out these. These are moments. I didn't realize I did that. That's supposed to say these are moments in history. Not politically scripted, not media scripted, bigger than that. Moments where suddenly the pieces on the chessboard begin moving all at once. And the public realizes they were never looking at separate events to begin with. It's all connected, like the Q drops. Iran, North Korea, the Gulf states, Israel, Pakistan, Turkey, the Strait of Hormuz, different headlines, different continents, different conflicts. But what if they were always connected? And what if the people controlling those pressure points were never truly loyal to any nation at all? And this is where, I refer to the black hands and not just the CIA, but primarily the CIA, because Q told us this, right? Says
And,
right
and, and by the way, let me just take us to the pictures that you and I were discussing.
Right.
This is the one with Clinton and Kim Jong-il. John Podesta is in this, okay, which is 11-4, okay, which is also 114, the capital letter count on the post that Sir Oliver is diving right now. I believe this is Un's sister.
Yeah, and I think there's two guys. Those two guys are brothers. I forget their names, but they're part of the Red Shoe Club. The one next to Pedestrian and the one on the end. I forget their names.
These two, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're part of the Red Shoe Club.
And these are the flowers that you were discussing, right? Okay. Now let's go to the other one. This is the watch the water. This is the calm water. There are no Americans in there. There are no CIA that we can tell. These are North Koreans. And they're in control. And they're standing on marble and they have calm waters behind them. All right. Back to your dive.
Right. So this is where we get into drop 430. I don't know if you click that, would it open up? Yeah, so that's drop 430, yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm using QMap, the first one that I ever used.
That was the first one I ever used.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great until it got shut down.
What's QAG now?
QMap is QAG?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was the same. The one I did was QApp. Wait a minute. QMap.app, right? That was the early one. QMap.app.
I thought it was .pub. Hold on.
No, you're right. I think it was .pub. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was .pub. I could be wrong though. Give me 1 second. I don't want to. I should know that.
No, you're right. It's as soon as you said it, I knew it was .pub.
Yeah, it is .pub. QMap.pub. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so get out of that. Or we can read it. Let's read it and then we'll go back to the article.
Okay.
What do clowns with access codes or do with the access codes in tech? Who controls North Korea? And I don't know if I had this, I know I had this conversation with Sarge because he used to ask me a lot of questions. And I remember telling him, you know, just because we send missiles overseas to other countries, you know, like Ukraine and Israel, what have you, doesn't mean that we lose access to the codes. We can still control them. We can still force them to miss their targets
Oh,
or
okay.
blow up in the air. Right? That's why one of the drops said missiles only. Remember that drop that said missiles only?
Yes.
Like they weren't going to destroy anything. It's just missiles. I forget which drop that was, but I do recall that. Who really controls North Korea? What families are protected using leverage? Bank financial leverage, nuke strike package leverage. Why is Iran protected? Why is Iran funded by the US? What news about Iran broke? Drugs? What about weapons of mass destruction? Why did Brennan and others provide false intel regarding North Korea? Capability plus Iran tech nuke device? Question mark. Plate full, have faith. So they're pretty much describing here how we have been in control through the CIA, have been in control of North Korea and Iran pretty
Yeah.
much since they ran the coup in Iran in what was it, 1953 that they ran that coup? They never
79 when they installed when they got rid of the Shah.
no, I'm
they
talking about before that.
They put
Way
the Shah in the 60s, I think.
I'm talking about way before that. Let me see. I have it. Give me 1 second. I'll see if I can send it to you, the link, because I was reading up on that recently. I want to say it was 1953 that they did that coup in Iran, and that was
No,
shortly.
it was 53. It was Ajax.
It's
Yeah.
53, yeah. That was
Yeah.
shortly after the CIA. The CIA was created in what, 48?
Yep.
You know, and then they did the coup in Iran. So they needed control geographically. They needed control of these areas, the Middle East, China, you know, South Korea, that whole area. So they had North Korea and Iran, pretty much. So when they say plate full, have faith that they were dealing with a lot at that time, to say the least. And it was all behind the scenes. It was all tech, very high tech, you know, military intelligence, space force type shit, you know. And
CIA
that's when
was 47. CIA was 47.
47, okay.
Yeah.
And that's when they destroyed their satellites, you know, so they no longer had access to their satellites. This was 2017, yeah, because the other one it was 2018 when they destroyed the satellites, I believe.
Oh,
All right.
and by the way, you mentioned the missiles. This takes us to 48, 47. Look at that. North Korea, Hawaii accidentally sounded the incoming missile alarm. North Korea no longer a threat. Mountain collapse. China seeking North Korea commitment to fire short, long-range ballistic missiles pre-election. Stage being
set. That's
Look
what
at
Kevin
that.
just said. Kevin just said that.
Yeah. There was a great dive that somebody did about stage being set too that I bookmarked for tonight's show.
Was it Joe?
I'll
Stormy
check.
Joe?
While you keep going, I'll check. But did you see Stormy Joe? Stormy Joe was a good one.
I think I saw something like that from him.
Okay.
I want to say it was him. I'm not sure. I don't recall. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it may have been him.
Okay.
He does some good breakdowns. He does some really good breakdowns.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it a long time, so you know.
Yeah.
I like to read his stuff every now and then.
Yes, me too. Me too. So back to your dive. Okay.
Right.
Q dropped 430.
Right. This is why I brought this in because I wanted you guys to focus on that. So imagine for a moment a rogue intelligence apparatus buried so deep inside the global system that it effectively became its own nation. And we know this. They don't answer to anyone. But it's not just them, right? There are other intel, MI6, and others
Yeah.
involved. Unlimited blackout, black budget funding, unacknowledged operations, compartmentalized black sites, off-book weapons programs. And I believe Trump is using their sites to house them. I believe he's using these black sites that I think that we probably
Mm,
have control over,
right.
most of them, if not all, to house them. You know what I'm saying? Think
Yeah.
Epstein.
Yeah.
I don't think he's dead. I know you don't think he's dead.
Yeah.
So he's probably in one of these black sites that nobody knows about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who knows? Maybe Charlie Kirk is
His,
there too.
yeah, his plane flew to the day of his death. A friend of mine tracked his plane to Greenland and then
Greenland.
to Antarctica.
Yep.
And Greenland has a site, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
guessing Antarctica has one. I mean, we know there's shit going down there that is just they can't talk about.
Yeah, that's the opening to the outside world.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the other worlds. The entrance.
Where the true deals are made.
Exactly. Yeah.
You got to talk to those people about everything. Real quick on that subject, I remember years ago there was a story about aliens interjecting potential World War III. And we began to see more and more UFO sightings,
Uh-huh.
pretty much warning us, like don't even
Right.
think about it, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to say that.
No, I agree. I think they've been absolutely involved in keeping us from destroying ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So off-book weapon program, proxy networks, financial leverage, control chaos, not the official CIA, but a faction inside it. Think Brennan and his crew, right? Think
Mm.
London, that Obama goes and meets with them secretly.
Right.
A network that learned long ago that fear is the ultimate currency. Fear funds wars. Fear expands surveillance. Fear justifies regime change. Fear moves oil markets. Fear creates dependency. And no two nations generated more strategic fear over the last several decades than Iran and North Korea.
Wow, dude. This is I just love that your wife wrote this for you. I think it's so awesome. I think
my wife hates writing. Hates writing.
Is that right?
Yeah, I love writing. I love it.
Oh,
I've
no,
been writing.
this is great,
Yeah.
dude. I just don't think it's you because it's not all caps. That's the only thing.
I you know why I didn't want to do that because, and I wrote a few articles like that, and when I go back and read them,
It's hard. Yeah.
For the reader, it's
Yeah.
hard.
Exactly. And by the way, and by the way, this was important because you had the capital letters of peace,
right,
that you had to focus on right here.
Yes. Yes.
Right. And
Mhm.
so important that you went lowercase. I'm so glad you
Mhm.
did this. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Please continue with your. All right. Where'd I go?
Where did
Did
we
I
leave off?
lose it? Here. Did I lose? Here
Nope,
we go.
yeah, right there.
Yep.
One controlled the temperature of the Middle East, the other controlled the temperature of Asia. One threatened the Strait of Hormuz, the other threatened nuclear annihilation. Different theaters, same psychological operation. Now imagine something else. Imagine a president walking into office and slowly realizing the public government was not the real battlefield. Imagine realizing the intelligence being presented to elected officials was itself compromised. Imagine realizing certain crises were not being solved because they were never meant to be solved. Charlie Kirk. only managed, only prolonged, only weaponized, and they're using their own tactics against them, by the way.
And by the way, I mean, the assassination attempt of Trump, the assassination of Kirk. I'm sorry, but why did we stop investigating these? Really? I mean, like, and that's why I don't cover them, because they're fucking psyops from the word go.
FFs.
Yeah.
Then ask yourself why the first presidency of Donald Trump looks so different from every administration before it. Why direct diplomacy suddenly replaced permanent escalation? Why the media panicked over meetings with Kim Jong-un? Why peace talks were portrayed as dangerous, CNN? Why de-escalation itself became controversial? Because if a rogue network survives on perpetual instability, peace is not diplomacy. Peace is an extension level event. The public saw photo ops, handshakes, summits, tweets. But what if those were only the visible layer? What if the real operation was covert leverage? Scroll up. And that's what we're not seeing. But I believe it's absolutely happening.
By the way,
Military
the reason why I was behind you on that a little bit is because I'm sharing this right now on my timeline. That's what. So I got.
You're good.
Yeah,
No,
please continue. Yeah.
Military intelligence, cyber dominance, financial pressure, back channel negotiations, quiet alliances, not conquering nations, liberating them from the system controlling them. And by the way, this is all Space Force. This would not be possible without Space Force. Right? Military savior of mankind. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly where they took us. He took us tonight with that capital letter count. And by the way, that post with all those names that I didn't even try to pronounce. Okay, by the way, I just said, okay, this guy was there from this country and this country, right? I didn't even go into the Bin Al Watala Badiba, but the capital letters were so key in all that.
Right. That jumps right at you in a post like that.
Yeah.
But you have to ask yourself, what other president has ever done this?
Never. It's
Obama, they hated Obama. He wasn't able to do that. He was bombing them.
Dude, he bowed to them, first of all, to Saudi Arabia, right? He bowed, right? And then he's bombing like crazy, which was people don't understand that the use of his drones in the Middle East led to the Muslim invasion of Europe. That was the justification for having these people that needed, to find safe harbor in the bowels of their enemy of thousands of years.
Yeah.
And
that was the plan all along.
Yeah.
That was the plan all along. Remember Brennan is Muslim, right?
Yeah.
And I made a strong argument years ago about Islam being introduced by the Roman Catholic Church. Okay. And now we're hearing that Islam was created by the crown. So that there's really no difference there. They're all connected, right? London, Vatican, DC, they're all pretty much connected. But yeah, we're gonna start to hear more about that. I don't know if you heard that. Did you hear that about Islam being created by?
Sure. Yeah. That the Vatican is the source of Islam. Yeah.
You're gonna start to hear more of that. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, here's the thing. I believe the Vatican right now is reading a white hat script, and look at the script. The Muslims are burning down, Christian churches, Catholic churches around the world, beheading, murdering, Christians, and the Pope is, bringing prayer rugs into the Vatican.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I'm sorry, but that to me is just a white hat script. It's like, hey, look at us. We created Islam as a way to divide us all. We bastardized the Bible. We picked and chose what books would go in, what would not. We divided the masses over the courses of centuries with the Crusades, with it goes so deep.
all while getting people to voluntarily give them their money.
Yeah.
Every
And
time you go to church.
And by the way, their best leads. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I fucked little Billy yesterday. Oh, Billy, would that be Billy Monahan? Yes. Yeah. Oh, okay. He's right. He's taking fucking notes.
Yeah.
Okay. Taking notes, these pedophiles, these pieces of shit. They're getting all the good stuff through the confession, and then they're going to work. It's like, you got to be, oh, maybe we should make him an altar boy. Yeah. We'll help him. Yeah, they'll help him. All right.
Yeah. It's horrible.
Oh man.
It's horrible. All right, let's finish this out, and then I gotta get up early tomorrow. Tomorrow's another round of games for the
Okay.
girl.
Yeah.
Scroll back a little bit.
This way.
Yeah. We were on 114. Drop 114. Go back. Right there. Yep.
Okay.
Now look at the Middle East today. A post mentioning calls with Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, Bahrain, and separately Israel, all connected to one subject: Iran, peace, the opening of the Strait of Hormuz. Think about that carefully. The Strait of Hormuz is not just a waterway. It is one of the most important geopolitical choke points on Earth. For decades, closure threats meant instant global panic, oil spikes, military alerts, naval deployments, fear. Now imagine the ultimate irony. The very pressure point used to hold the world hostage becoming the symbol of peace instead. And maybe that is the real story. Not the destruction of nations, the destruction of the architecture of controlled conflict itself. In this scenario, the United States military is not portrayed as an occupying empire. It becomes something else entirely, a stabilizing force used against rogue intelligence structures that operated above governments and beyond public accountability. Can you think of who that might be? Not war for conquest, power used to prevent global blackmail. If that were true, history would eventually describe this era very differently than the headlines do now. Not as random geopolitical chaos, but as an invisible civil war between elected governments versus transnational intelligence power. And the final weapon was never nuclear, it was peace. Because peace removes the justification for the machine. No endless war, no permanent fear, no manufactured emergencies, no controlled destabilization. Just nations no longer needing the hidden operators behind the curtain. Maybe that is why certain people panic every time diplomacy begins working. Maybe that is why peace itself becomes suspicious. And maybe that is why the word peace was capitalized, not for grammar, not for emphasis, not for symbolism, but for the message. I'm sorry. Let me reread that. Not for grammar, for emphasis, for symbolism, for the message. They use war to control the world, but what if peace is what destroys their control? Bong, bang, bang.
Okay, I got a question for you. When you were learning how to spot weld, did you have any idea that you would ever write something this fantastic?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I was writing before I was welding.
Dude, this is so fucking good.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
It's
And I cut it down. I cut it
it's
down a
so
few times
good.
because it was longer. I had to cut it down. You know, I get carried away sometimes.
Now I bust your chops, but dude, this is really, really good. I'm so impressed by this. This is so, it's really good.
I thought about I thought about adding Brennan's face, you know, and a couple of other, you know, sometimes I add links when I do articles,
Sure.
but I think keeping this one simple
Yeah.
was, you know, made more sense.
You know, I agree. I think it's it's timeless the way it is. If you bring in Brennan and you do all this other stuff, it kind of compartmentalizes it to this point in human history. But this is really a timeless piece that I think, even though you have the, you know, the drops and so forth that kind of date it, it's pretty timeless, bro. Well done, well done.
Thank you, thank you.
By the way, do you know? I'm living on a farm now.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I moved from Dripping Springs, and now I'm on a 17-acre farm.
Nice.
And yeah, just took a long walk with Jasper
I was
earlier.
gonna say it must be peaceful.
Oh, it's so awesome, dude. It's so peaceful. And I'm the only one here. And my landlord's built a couple houses here, and I'm gonna get one of them. I'm in a temporary place right now, but it's a beautiful home. And I'm saving money from my last place, so it's gonna be great. So, but there was a cow that was getting through the fence here and dropping some bombs around the property until they finished. I didn't know this, but do you know how you know when a cow is ready to mate?
I don't, but I know the time of year. I could tell you that. It was
Okay.
every year, around the end of March, beginning of April is when they mate, and they all mate at the same
Yeah.
time. So you'll have babies, you know, a few babies at a time. Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually when the whore moves.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one.
Thank you,
That
man.
was a good
Hey,
one.
you know, as enthralled as I was with your article, your writing, I wrote that as you were reading it.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh, thank you.
Did you see that meme?
No.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can send it to you.
There's a
So
meme. You mean
my
that's
boy,
not
yeah,
original?
no, my boy Dark Knight put a meme together. Hold on. I gotta find it and send it to you. Oh, it's fucking hilarious. As soon as I saw it, I was dying. That was great, man. I got a good laugh out of that.
Thank you, man. I wanted to send you off with a good laugh there.
You know what? Let me check my DMs because he DM'd me. That was good.
Moonbeam. What's wrong, Moonbeam? What's up?
That was a good one.
Thanks.
And here I am thinking like exact time because there's so many farms around me. And I was driving my daughter to school one morning and I saw a cow giving birth. I
Really?
couldn't stop. Yeah, I couldn't stop. You know, I'm on my way. Actually, I was on my way to pick her up from school. So I couldn't stop, but I know the farm. So I said, you know, on the way home we're gonna stop. And I stopped with my daughter in the car. The owner of the farm was there. He was making sure the baby was okay. We saw the baby take his first steps, you know.
Oh, no
And then
way.
yeah,
That's
man. And then he pointed, you know, off in the distance a little bit. I guess like the sister cow with her calf that was just born 2 days before. And he explained the whole thing to me, how they all pretty much have babies at the same time. You know.
Wow.
So
Okay.
here I am thinking about all this in my head, and you come out with that. That was hilarious.
Thanks.
That was hilarious. Here we go. I'm gonna send this to you right now.
Okay.
How do I send this? Hold on.
Oh, by the way, I've got Mr. Whistle Whiskers on my lap here, joining us. He'll be leaving tomorrow because my daughter gets back from a trip, and but he's been hanging. It's been awesome having him.
He must be loving it there, huh?
Oh yeah, we've been outside too. He loves going outside too. Say hi, Whiskey. Say hi to Sir Oliver and the Snedheads. They all love you. They all love this guy. He's been on many
what's up
shows.
there?
Let me see if I.
Oh, he's pretty.
Yeah, thank you. He's a Maine Coon.
Big guy.
Yeah, he's pretty good size, but he's losing some weight. I'm a little concerned. Did you send it to my chat or text?
No, I got out of that because I wanted to see your cat. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Okay.
I DM'd you.
Okay.
On X. Yeah, put that one up.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
It's too big on the screen.
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta bring it
Close
back
it.
here.
Yeah.
What's going on? Why
There
is
you
it?
go. Just
There we go.
zoom that. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Why is it doing that? Okay. Hold on. Why is that? I can't make it any bigger for some reason.
Can you? Oh, you're on your laptop.
Yeah. Here we go. Here, I'll do it this way. There we go.
Yeah. Open the Strait of
Let people
Hormuz.
Or moose. Yeah, that's funny. That's good, man. Hey, great article, and what a great there he is. What's up, buddy? Say hi to everybody.
What's up, Whiskers?
Yeah, what's up, dude? Hi. Yeah. But
I got a Russian blue cat. Have you seen my cat?
No.
I got a Russian blue cat. Hold on, let me see if I could. He usually sleeps in the other. He usually sleeps in the other living room. Let me see if I can get a shot of him.
My sister's dog is fighting for his life right now.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. He's having blood transfusions right now, and he's
there. He's there. Let me if I turn on my camera, can I flip it the other way?
I think so.
Let me see.
Or you could just turn it.
Camera.
I see you.
I can't flip it though. I don't want to see me.
So just turn your phone around.
It's my iPad. Hey,
Oh.
Felix. Say hi, Felix. Do you see him?
Felix.
You see him?
Getting close. Getting close.
He's sleeping.
Oh,
See him?
I see him. Yeah.
There he
Look,
is.
Whiskers. Look, you got a buddy. Look.
Yeah.
Look.
He's a big
he's
guy.
Beautiful. Yeah, he's big. Big dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't want to turn the light on. I don't want to turn on the light and bother him. He'll be a year in a couple of months. He's still a baby.
Oh, brand new. Oh, this was the one you saved, right? Didn't you rescue this one or something?
Yeah, we got him. My daughter wanted a can. We went and got him. This lady that I found, she actually saves a bunch of cats, and so I took him off her hands. Beautiful cat. He turned out to really be such a nice cat, and he's huge. He's huge. I can't believe how big he is. I don't know if they grow anymore after what, he's about 8 months now, maybe 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Do they grow more than that? After that?
I don't think so. Could be.
I hope not. He's a big motherfucker.
Anybody know in the chat there?
He eats a lot too. He comes, he rubs up on me all the time when he's hungry. He rubs up on my legs.
He lets you know, huh?
Yeah.
He lets you know it's time for some food.
Yeah, man. That's all he does. Eat shit and sleep. That's all he does.
Whiskers only eats about 8 times a day.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all. Because he was getting thin, and now he's got his weight back a little bit, which is good.
Well, I learned real quick, if you keep feeding them, they'll keep eating. You know?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So, dude, check out my I showed this to the Sneds earlier. Check out my seats from last night's game. That's my knee. Can you see that?
Dude, you were in the plush seats.
Yeah, I was second row back after the scores table.
Yeah, those are the plush seats.
Yeah, my buddy has these. These are his season tickets for the Spurs.
That
and
is nice. Who they play?
So it was Oklahoma City. So it was the third game in the playoffs against Oklahoma City, and they and what do you call it? They lost. There's Wembanyama. And by the way, there's me, and there's David Stern 4 rows behind me.
Oh wow, look at that.
Who I ended up meeting.
Oh, nice. Is he that tall? He's not that
No,
tall.
he was standing.
He's standing a few steps up, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's a little guy.
He's 2 steps above me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, I'm like, wait, what the fuck? That's not him. He's not that tall.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Right. It's he's like Wembanyama, I guess. But yeah, so that was cool. So that's what I was up to last night.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It would have been nice to see the Spurs win. But man, what a great 1-2 punch you and I did tonight with my dive on the most recent stuff, and then your article from today to cap that off was just awesome, man.
Well, it was Trump. It was Trump's post that kind of led me there. You know, I mean,
Right.
I wouldn't have really even thought about writing that if those timestamps that didn't line up perfectly with what he posted. You know, and it all makes sense. It all makes sense. I didn't even really get into the last one he did. I mean, we kind of got into it, but did you see the autopsy? Did you actually read the report? It's
No,
oh my God.
First of all, it's got typos through the.
Yo, it's like a third grader could have did a better job.
Oh, which, by the way, is a white hat fucking script right there.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? I mean, come on. Typos?
CNN, there was a reporter from CNN, I forget his name, but he was the one that broke it. He got a hold of the full report, or at least the report that they were willing to give him. And that's what they gave him, and he broke it on CNN. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, it was CNN breaking their own fucking reporter's autopsy on CNN. I got the clip. Let me see if I got it on here. I don't know if I saved it on here or if I saved it on my phone. I don't have it here. Yeah, you might be able to still find it on
Oh,
CNN.
this is it, dude. This is it right here.
Did you get it from CNN?
I think Gutfeld covered the CNN thing. Let me see if I could find CNN.
It's on their website. I went right to their website and got it.
Okay.
But they interviewed the guy. 2 CNN reporters interviewed the guy that broke the autopsy, and he destroyed it. He was like, they left so much stuff out and blah blah blah, and yeah, the guy made a fool of himself. The guy who put it together, I think he had a Spanish last name. I don't remember exactly, and I can't find it right now. Maybe it's on my phone. I'm looking on my laptop. I got too many pictures. That's what the fuck it is. I gotta get rid of some of this stuff. No, I don't have it here. Check my phone. If I have it on my phone, I'll send it to you.
All right.
Because when you go to search on CNN, you gotta do a keyword search, and if you don't have the right words, you probably won't find it because they do so many stories every day. You know.
This is what comes up when I let
me get my phone.
On CNN. Takeaways from the DNC autopsy. Read the DNC's autopsy obtained by CNN. That's like the first story. And then takeaways.
I can't hear you.
Can't hear me again?
I can't hear anything, Dave.
Oh, man.
I can't hear you. I see your lips moving, but I can't hear anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to kick you.
Nah, I can't hear you, no.
I'll kick you. Let me know if you want to come back.
Bounce me out. Bring me back.
Okay.
I'll look for the...
All right. Kicking him. All right. Hopefully he'll come back in. So, but let me see if I could find it on X. Let me do... Okay. So here's that story on Staten Island, by the way, folks, that you guys were, somebody mentioned. 1 dead, 36 injured in shipyard explosion and fire on Staten Island, officials say. Wow. Wow. Okay. Southern California's authorities are concerned that a tank filled with a toxic chemical will leak or explode. This is in Southern California. Where the heck is that? 50,000 residents, Orange County, California. State of emergency in Orange County. When was this? 29 minutes ago. Chemical is MMA. Okay. Sir Oliver dropped that, and he's back in the house. Okay, I got it. Let me pull it up here. Let me see. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, that's they're trying to disrupt the election. That's what that looks like. The mayoral race. You know.
Oh yeah, right.
New exclusive reporting
Okay,
first
hold
into
on.
the situation.
Let me see if I can bring this up. I can't find that. Where is it? Here it is. Let me see.
Ariana.
Breaking news. New exclusive reporting first into the situation room. CNN has obtained the Democrats' law.
Bella didn't bring them in.
What went wrong in Kamala Harris's loss to President Trump? After publicly promising its release, DNC Chair Ken Martin pulled the plug on the
I still can't hear you. Are you talking?
sparking
Hold
fierce
on.
criticism.
Nope, can't hear you.
CNN senior reporter Isaac Dovere.
Hold on. I got
Can't hear you.
Vance on all of this.
Say something.
So I can't.
Nope, can't hear you.
All right, hold on.
Can't hear you. Bounce me out and bring me back. In the meantime, when I went to look for that, I saw that Donald Trump posted, but this is yesterday. Yeah, he posted yesterday for the first time on X. That 22-second video. Did you cover that? And Dan Scavino responded, he loved this so much, hello at X, and then he put the funny emojis with the pain, the skeleton with the crossbones. It's Stephen Colbert, a 22-second video of Stephen Colbert. What's drop 22? But check that out. I don't know if you covered that already.
And that
I can't
was,
hear you.
You're okay. All right, I'm gonna kick you.
I'll be back in a minute. Drop
Okay.
me on and bring me back.
All right, kicking him from studio. I'm going to play this for us here. I found it on X. I couldn't pull up. I tried to pull up his on X, but here it is. Let me play this for you. Here we go.
Reporting first into the Situation Room, CNN has obtained the Democrats' long-awaited autopsy of the 2024 election, documenting what went wrong in Kamala Harris's loss to President Trump. After publicly promising its release, DNC Chair Ken Martin pulled the plug on the elusive report last year, sparking fierce criticism within the party.
CNN senior reporter Isaac Dovere got his exclusive hands on all of this. He's joining us now in the Situation Room. Isaac, this report, you were a big part in why it came out in the first place. Excellent reporting on your part. After back and forth from the DNC chair, Ken Martin, on whether or not he'd release it in full. So what's inside?
Well, so first of all, that is an important part of this. The plan was not to release this report. The report was released to me after I had obtained a lot of the detail and contents of what was in there. And the report that we have published on our website is with annotations from the DNC lawyers undercutting a lot of what is in the report. That said, it gets into things about spending decisions and organizing that was done by the DNC, ways to possibly improve it. But there are a lot of things in that version that are incomplete. And also, it does not touch a couple of topics that a lot of people were very interested in and thought were the reasons for this report not being out. There's nothing about Joe Biden and what happened in the debate. There's nothing about Kamala Harris getting the nomination without any kind of primary process. And also, there is nothing about the way that voters were responding to Gaza and how the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris policies and comments about it were hitting their minds.
So a lot was missing in that report. I know you reached out to the current DNC chair, Ken Martin, who we noted earlier has come under some fire for initially not releasing this report to the public. What's he now saying?
Well, he apologized in a statement to me for how he handled it. And he said that he was releasing it to me because he feels like this is about getting back to some level of transparency. But he says in the statement that the report was not ready for prime time. That's how he put it. And that's why he chose not to do it, that it's full of a lot of problems. And again, we are publishing the full report so that people can see it and read for themselves and make their decisions about what's in there.
Because in the full report, there's spelling issues, there's errors and just basic facts.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they have a more polished, put together report at this point in the game?
Well, look, and this was after a year of work on it. And the story that I have up that goes along with the publishing of the report goes through the whole process of how this went down. Martin hired a friend of his as a part-time volunteer to be the person in charge of this report. And that person, I get into a lot of the conversations that person was having. His name is Paul Rivera, that he was having with people and how those conversations went, but also a lot of conversations that he wasn't having. For example, he did not speak to almost anybody who was in a leadership position on the Biden campaign or the Harris campaign. He didn't speak to Joe Biden. He didn't speak to Kamala Harris. He didn't speak to Tim Walz. He did not speak to, when it comes to the Gaza issue, any of the leaders of the Uncommitted movement, which was that protest movement, pro-Palestinian protest movement. He didn't speak to Jewish groups or pro-Israel groups. So it wasn't just leaving out one part of that conversation. He left out all parts of that conversation. And that has led to a lot of conspiracy theories about what was going on here. But I think when you see the full story of what's there and what this process was and read the document, you will have a lot of, if not all of, hopefully your questions answered.
And you've released the full document.
Yes, it's up on our website right now.
All right, excellent
And
reporting.
CNN.com.
All right, Isaac Dover, thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very much. Good reporter.
Absolutely.
And coming up, we have breaking news.
Yeah, good reporter. They don't say that often on CNN. You with me? Oliver, you with me? Your mute is on.
Yeah. How do you allow that? You know, and then for CNN to be the network to break it, it's just
It's actually quite comical to to have typos. Typos will delegitimize anything,
right?
Especially when the document itself is delegitimized.
Yeah, I'd like to go through that one day, like thoroughly, and find everything. You know what I mean? Try to read it all and find all the errors. I haven't done that yet.
Me neither.
But I'd love to do. I think I have it. Let me check my books. I'm pretty sure I got it. Let me see.
Yeah, they're copying. They published it. Yeah.
No, I didn't. Here's what happened. I remember now. They never showed the report. It was like one link to the next, and then they wanted you to pay a subscription to access it. That's what happened. Yeah. When I checked my books, it was the D class, the DNI D class. That's the last thing I saved. The evidence of Obama subvert President Trump 2016 victory election. This was Tulsi Gabbard declassified this, and Catherine Herridge was the one that posted it. Did you see that?
No.
You there?
Yeah. You're not hearing me again?
Oh man, you can't hear me, huh?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you again.
I can hear you.
No, I can't hear you, brother.
Yeah.
Listen, it's been a pleasure. I got to get to bed anyway.
All right, man.
Good stuff as usual. But like, if you heard me, what I was saying was that, oh, you got it up. You got it up. Okay.
This is on CNN.
I wasn't able to get it. I remember they sent me one link to the other. They wanted me to subscribe. But I got the Tulsi Gabbard. Remember she declassified all that stuff, and Captain Herridge reported on it, and she sent the link to the full document. So I have that. But a lot of it's redacted, you know. So anyway, listen, brother, I got to go. Take care, man. Good chilling with you guys once again. I'm sorry you can't hear me. I just wanted to hear you say goodnight. You know, I miss that smooth, sultry voice, you know, saying goodnight to me every now and then. All right, man. I'll see you later. Have a good one.
All right. Much love, brother. See you. Peace out. Oh, man. How crazy is that we keep getting cut off like that? That's so annoying. By the way, folks, this is on CNN.com, and it's in the autopsy report, and I'm going to put that in the comments here, and on all the different platforms, so that you can click on it. And let me see, where's my where's the chat? Where's the chat on the Rumble? Why am I missing the chat on Rumble for some reason? This is odd. But at any rate, Diana, if you wouldn't mind reposting that on Rumble, that would be awesome. And yeah, my friends, this is what a great night. So much going on. And so important for us to just really let me post. I'm posting that on Snedheads on X, but I'm going to post on Snedheads as well. Yeah, awesome to have Oliver on. And all right, here we go. Yeah, very yeah, let me go to the disaster. Moonbeam just sent it to me on X chat. Let me take us there. Yeah, chemical tank failure in Garden Grove, California, which is, by the way, very close to LA, just south. Garden Grove is just south of LA. Orange County is primary ongoing disaster. Large storage tank containing thousands of gallons of methacrylate, a flammable toxic chemical used in plastics and aerospace manufacturing, is overheating and at risk of leaking, rupturing, or exploding. They're working to cool it by spraying water. I wonder if they have water in Orange County, because we don't have any water in LA. So hopefully they have enough water. But the situation remains unstable with no clear timeline for resolution. Wow. Tens of thousands under evacuation orders. Garden Grove, Cypress, Stanton, Anaheim, Buena Park, and Westminster. Of course, Anaheim is where the Disneyland is. Schools closed. Wow. There are also active wildfires in Southern California, Ventura, Riverside, and other counties, some with prior evacuation orders affecting thousands early in the week. Yeah, thank you, Moonbeam, for sharing that. Yeah, my friends, I'm hitting a wall. But yeah, watch a replay. Chris, you're going to love it. 50,000 evacuated. Unbelievable. Within a few miles of Disneyland. Yeah. 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 What a fantastic writer Oliver is. Wasn't that great? So well done. So well done. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, after a year of working on it, they didn't hire a spell checker. That's why it's ridiculous, folks. Yeah, and Nancy says it's amazing to me that they're trying to find someone who knows how to mitigate the disaster after it happens, not policy in place already if it's so dangerous, right? I mean, that's just that for that kind of a issue, you got to have, doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense, right? Heard it was a British owned company that owns that, Lucy. All right. So much going on, Whip and Spur, but what a show we had, folks. What a show. Already 40,000 over 4 cities. Yeah. Wow. Holy cow. All right, my friends. I'm off tomorrow. Be with family tomorrow. Should be back Monday. A lot going on. Obviously, if something big goes down, I'll come to you. But great to have Oliver on. Great to have you on with me this evening. We're at 900 over on X. We're at almost 400 over on Rumble. Facebook, I'm not sure. I don't really have that dialed in. But I'm so glad you guys are all here and that you got to see that incredible show. And please continue to spread the word about what's really going on here in the world, folks. This is we need the anons right now, and you listen to a couple tonight, but it also is so important that we really get a handle on what President Trump is trying to convey here, because it's all, the comms are just off the charts. All right, my friends, thank you for your continued prayers for Magnus. Please, dear Lord, please watch over this precious, precious dog, and forgive the significant concern over this creature that, you know, when we have so much that's important in this world to focus on and pray for. But this is a special, special being, and we ask you to just strengthen him, and thy will be done, but please strengthen him and help him to come back from these surgeries and heal and live a good long life past the 5 years that he's already been here. Yeah, prayers up for all those who need them, and good night, my friends. Have a great Sunday, and see you Monday. Much love. And oh, I did say I was going to, before I go, let me just pull up who stepped up and donated tonight. This is, I mentioned I was going to do that earlier, and I don't want to go against my word. And so thank you to Maggie O'Leary. Thank you, Maggie. God bless you for your $17 donation. Yeah. Whew, yeah. Thank you, Maggie, for your $17. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. All right, my friends, be well. Much love, and good night.